Today is 7th of March, 2024. Yeah. So we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, the Unique Code. We are at code 106. Yeah. Okay. As usual, let us gather. Then we can have our physical puja. Let us compose our mind, develop the faith, saddha, virya. Then mindfully we shall commence the puja chanting. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนามัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิDutiampi bedang saranang gacchami Dutiampi dhammang saranang gacchami Dutiampi sanghang saranang gacchami Tatiampi buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Tatiampi sanghang saranang gacchami Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Kamesu miccācara Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Surameraya majapamatatthana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Now you all can be seated. Turn to page 3 of the chanting book. We shall continue our chanting from the Padipa Puja onward. Ganna sarapatithena dipena tamadangsina tiloka dipang sambuddhang pujayami tamonudang Ganda sambara yutena Tupena hang sukang hina Pujaye pujaniyang tang Puja bhajana muttamang Vanna ganda guno peta tang kusuma santatin pujayami munindasa siri pada sarorohe pujemi padang kusumena nena punnena muttena cha hotu mokkhaṃ pupang milayati yata idang me kayo tatayati vinasa bhavang adivase no bante paniyam parikapitang anukampang upadaya patikan hatu muttamang adivase no bante pale parikapitang anukampang upadaya patikan hatu muttamang adivase no bante bojanang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu muttamang. Now we shall chant the Puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and to help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the dana parami or generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate sila, samadhi, and panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free nibbana. Making of oral aspiration. By the power of all these merits born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of saddha, virya, sati, samadhi, and panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers. Sharing and transfer of merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Badang pujemi. Dhammang pujemi. Sanghang pujemi. Okay, you all can be seated. So today's topic, I think unique code 106 is in a way related to this awareness-based meditation. Always remember the four support that will help you develop the awareness-based meditation. This awareness-based meditation is very important. Without this being developed, it's very difficult for you to have a stable sati leading to heedfulness. So like the word awareness-based meditation. So this meditation is to train our mind to develop the inner awareness so that we can stabilize it to be with that true mind, that true nature within. To do that, we need the first three of the four support. First is relax body and mind completely. Feel yourself soothingly relaxed, at ease. Nothing disturb your body and mind. Means you are really relaxed. No tension, no tightness, no stress within, no problem. Relax. Then maintain awareness. To do that, you must not have thought. Maintaining awareness means whatever arises at our senses, just aware, finish. If possible, don't even try to perceive or know anything. But initially it's not easy. You need to perceive what it is, it's okay. After that, aware, finish. Then the third support is to stabilize this awareness that you have developed. Means continue to train yourself every time something arises. Whatever it is, can be from your hearing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought consciousness. Just aware, finish. No more continuation with the sankhara activity. We call it the sankhara sanya activity within our mundane mind activity. That one is very, very, I should say, very strong in its habitual tendency to develop that thinking process or movement. That's why heedless thinking, mental activity come from sankhara sanya. Sankhara are all the mental activity that goes on, including all the mind states that actually goes on within our thought process. So sankhara actually is inclusive of feeling and perception too. Perception is sanya. So every time we perceive something through our senses, whether it's seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought process, upon contact, the respective sense or consciousness actually arise. But through our perception, we retrieve it from memory, from our brain, from our accumulated knowledge to perceive. Then, through our views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, we immediately stir our mind. That's why sankhara sanya activity continuously move. The moment you perceive, you think. The moment you perceive, you think. The moment you perceive, you react. And you develop all the like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience. Then all the mind state they arise. And most of these mind states are negative, psychological mind state that has the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion before you have the Dhamma understanding. But after you have the Dhamma understanding, then it will become different. The Dhamma understanding, yoniso manasikara, wisdom at the moment of sense experience will prompt you. But before that, very difficult. So awareness-based meditation is to help you decondition this process of heedless thinking, sankhara sanya manifestation and activity, thereby stirring your mind, reacting, and creating all the uneasiness or what they call disturbance inside your thought process. With that, there is no peace. you cannot realize your true mind, which is also your meditative mind of inner awareness, inner peace, inner tranquility and stillness. So all this is related. That's why my instruction is, when you are doing this awareness-based meditation, you use the first three of the four support to help you, then silence your mind completely. Don't try to know, don't try to do, don't try to even use the word meditate. Because people who don't understand awareness-based meditation, when they need to meditate, they go to the thought process. Who meditate? The thought meditate. So who do? The thought do. Who try to know? The thought through its perception try to know. The moment you perceive and develop the knowing, then with your knowledge, views, opinion, conditioning and belief system, you will start to create the movement of sankhara, your like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant, your phobia, your fear, whatever that is being conditioned into. So that's the reason why you just relax, maintain awareness, then don't try to know, don't try to do, and silence your mind completely and maintain awareness. Whatever arises, aware, arise, aware, until that movement, the arising of thought or sankhara movement, cease to be. By doing that, your mind will slowly settle down, instead of continuing with the habitual thinking that develops through the sense experience. You start to develop the awareness to see all this movement initially like slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, until it becomes very quiet, and finally still. When it can become still, that is very good, means you have progress. Then that is the glimpse of what we call the stopping of the thinking, means of the awareness nature within you. But very difficult to maintain and stabilize the awareness nature. The moment you become curious, the thought arises again. Then when you try to continuously stay there, you realize your habitual thinking will come in. That's why awareness-based meditation is to allow us to develop this awareness, to train this mundane mind, so that it does not think like before, so that it's always aware, heedful, silent, relaxed, peaceful, tranquil, and still. So continue to develop this until you become very stable. Then the third support will kick in. Stabilize that awareness nature within. Whatever arises, just aware, aware, aware. You all can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the mind states that you need to develop the daily mindfulness. That you can stabilize it until you become fully aware most of the time throughout the day. That will be very good. So from this awareness, you can become heedful. In fact, heedfulness is defined as somebody who is ever mindful, constantly meditative. You combine these two, you become heedful. So to be ever mindful, you must train your mind to be mindful or aware within, then stabilize it to be ever mindful. Then constantly meditative means constantly in that state of awareness to understand, to develop the meditative wisdom, the insight and the awakening. That state of mind, which is just the awareness nature without thought, is your true mind, your meditative mind. That one is capable of the direct seeing things as they are. Then it can also insight into phenomena and awaken to the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakemokadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijajarana sampanno sukhato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanaiko Pajatang Veditabo Vinuhiti Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yaya Patipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samiji Patipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Ahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaneyo Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, you can be seated. Then we shall continue from where we stopped. We are at Unit Code 106. We finished Unit Code 105, the last session. So Unit Code 105 is also very good, which we have covered. I just read through to recollect. Unit Dhamma Code 105. To have the ultimate realization, to transcend life, one has to transcend even the present moment, leading to the cessation of form and mind, which is the realization of Nibbana, which is the unconditioned. The present moment may be the highest in life, but it is still within life. So to transcend life, to go beyond birth and death, liao shen si, we need to transcend even the present moment, where all these are still within the field of thought, time-based, past, present, and future. Past and future, they are not the reality, because past is already gone, no more reality. Future yet to come also cannot be a reality. So the only reality in life is, as we have gone through, the present moment. But present moment is still time related. Then if we are mindful, if we are aware, we can understand the present moment is also very transient, very unstable. When we talk about the present moment, the moment we say it is the moment, present moment, split second, that present moment is gone, then next moment, next moment, next moment. And all this moment of arising of thought process or activity is the only reality within life, within existence. So that one we have already covered. So if we understand that the highest in life is the present moment, this is the only reality, but it is transient, so transient and so unstable. Then how real can life be? It's not what you think. All this moment, just the thought, recognizing it. Without thought, the moment doesn't exist. So all this understanding is very important. Then having gone through that, we now move on to 106, Unit Code 106. Just do, don't try to know. Accord and flow with conditions and situations. Have no desire and craving to progress. Just cultivate sincerely with faith and perseverance. This is wisdom. So this unique code is also very special, very important. You can understand, it can actually help you develop the awakening. So like I mentioned just now, before we start, when we are going through the instruction for awareness-based meditation, by now I believe most of you would have understood why I always say when you develop this awareness-based meditation, don't try to know, don't try to do. So this is very important. We have to understand this. Here I say, just do, but don't try to know, and yet don't try to do. It appears contradictory, but it's not contradictory. Just do means just develop the training of the mind to be aware. Finish. This do is not somebody do something, not a doer. Means just develop the training to be aware. Then don't try to know, don't try to do. Because that very trying is always by our mundane thinking, the thought process. So Take for example, most human beings or any cultivator of the way, most of them, if you ask them to meditate, what is the instrument they use? They will always use your thought. Then they will ask you, can you teach me how to meditate? And who teach? Somebody with the thought process who read through the sutta or have done some uh, meditation progress, or also develop the understanding of the so-called teaching. Then they will give instruction to people to meditate. And usually that series of instruction to meditate involve what? Involve a method, a technique, or a meditation object. It's always like that. Which means you need the thought to do all this. First is to listen to the instruction, then process it. After you believe you understood the instruction, then you do. Do with what? Or you say, I meditate. Meditate with what? Huh? Meditate with what? It's definitely with the thought, well, that is the only instrument you have. But you never knew there is another mind, which is the true mind, our pure awareness nature within, which is without thought. And that is the one that is the true mind that can develop the awakening and the understanding of the reality in the here and the now. Where if you are not silent, your mind cannot be aware. Like I always explain, man can only do one thing at a time, or living being, human being in particular, can only do one thing at a time. Either you are without thought, fully aware of what is going on within the moment, or you are lost in thought. Lost in thought means what? Preoccupied with what you think. Then when you are preoccupied with what you think, your mind will actually be affected. Whatever thought you arise, it can be wholesome, unwholesome, or even right thought or wrong thought. They will create movement of emotion, or what we call the reaction to sense experience, the stirring of the mind. Means you will have your duality of like and dislike, or pleasant and unpleasant experience of what is going on. Then sometimes certain type of thought process, when you recall something fearful, you develop fear, phobia, unhappiness. Then sometimes certain thing that you hear, it may cause you to react to sense experience. Then you like become unhappy, or sometimes they become angry, emotional. All these are the sankhara, sanya activity. And these are mind state that arise through delusion, lack of right understanding, lack of wisdom, lack of Dhamma understanding, to develop the ability to see things as they are, to come to terms with the reality, which is what is. What is nature's condition. Like the Buddha said, whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions behind. And because there are causes and conditions behind, the moment will always be like that. But these are the causes and conditions that are responsible for the arising of the moment. So when you understand, means the Buddha says, seeing things as they are, means to understand the reality, to understand what is. Means whatever happened in life, whatever situation, whatever condition. Once the causes and conditions are already set, it can never be otherwise. It has to be that way. And that is what we call the reality, what is. So this is what the Buddha meant by developing the wisdom to be at peace with all this. Because if you cannot understand the reality, means you wanting your way, which is not nature's way, which is not nature's condition manifesting what it is. Well, our world we live in is a conditioned world, dependent originating. It's not an unconditioned world where everything is just within that nature. So the conditioned world has its conditioned Dhamma, has its manifestation and all those things. So if you are not mindful to see all this, then you keep on making mistakes. You keep on arising the thought. If you arise the thought, how can you be mindful, aware of what is going on within the moment? You can only do either or. Lost in thought means preoccupied with what you are thinking and reacting to whatever you perceive or think. Then the emotion, everything. Yeah. When thought is active, awareness ceases to be. But this is the creation from the awareness nature. So when the awareness nature is without thought, then that mind that we have can be with the awareness nature. Actually, the awareness nature is all the time there. It is the primordial, the original. But from there, thought arises very fast. The movement of thought, sankhara activity, sankhara sanya, the thinking, the concording, the movement, they all manifest from that pure nature. So understanding that is what meditation is. It's like to develop the real understanding, which is wisdom, to awaken, we need to develop this awareness-based meditation, to have this awareness to observe, understand, and develop the wisdom to develop the meditation correctly. So I read again, hopefully by then you can understand. Just don't try to know. Accord and flow with condition and situation. Have no desire and no craving. Actually, desire is positive craving, wanting things your way. When you do that, you fail to understand nature's manifestation. You fail to understand the law of dependent origination, the nature's law of cause and effect, causal phenomena. So when you have no desire and craving to progress, means you don't have expectation, you don't have desire or craving to really progress. Yeah, this one, a lot of cultivators that we also get caught. Yeah. Which means what you need to do is just cultivate sincerely with the spiritual faculty of saddha, faith, then persevere. Yeah. Of course, if you want to add in is sincerity. Yeah? Yeah. That three virtue. Yeah? Strong faith in the Buddha and his teaching, then be sincere to walk this path, to realize this awakening, and persevere. Yeah. Means strive on or develop the virya when you have developed the heedfulness. Strive on with heedfulness. So all this will bring about wisdom. That's why I say this is wisdom. So now you will go through this unique code again. If you can be mindful or heedful in the midst of life means you hardly has any thought. Thought is not really needed if you are developing the understanding, means heedful living. When you are heedless, or when you develop heedless living, then you create a lot of thought, you think a lot. Thought like cannot stop. And the thinking can become so, what they call rampant, until it becomes heedless and habitual. Then through every moment of thought process, we develop sense experience. Normally is whenever you perceive something through the senses, then that one condition, your thought activity, that is the one that create problem for you. If you don't perceive, you don't have the knowledge, the memory, the conditioning, the belief system, your habitual tendency, your whatever negative psychological memory, then you don't have problem in life. Human beings will have problem when they create all this thinking without understanding, means they become heedless. There is no space between thought, no clarity to be aware, to be sensitive, to observe, to understand. Most of the time, you are heedlessly lost in thought, creating thought activity. And most of the time, like what we say, life or existence is within the moment. That is the only reality. So moment to moment, life passes by. What are we doing? Living beings, especially non-cultivator. Most of them, they are too busy thinking, planning, and worrying about life, or scheming, or working very hard, or gossiping. All this is what living beings do, or human beings in particular. Sometimes they go to the extent of backbiting, discussing and talking about trivial issues that involve what they call frivolous discussion or talk. All these are included under the four types of wrong speech. So understanding all this is very important. That's why when you meditate to develop awareness-based meditation, remember the four support, especially the first three. Relax, maintain awareness, then stabilize the awareness. After that, if you can do all this well, then you can go to the fourth support, which is trust. Then, in order to be successful in applying the first three support, the key understanding is you need to maintain awareness, not to arise the thinking and the thought anymore. That's why don't try to know, don't try to do. The doer is always the thought. The meditator is also the thought. Then don't try to know who know. The thought perceive and try to know. So all these trigger of thought activity make you heedless, lost your ability to be aware. And if you don't have this, then you cannot develop wisdom. Once you cannot develop wisdom, especially Dhamma wisdom, then you will not understand the next sentence that I say. Accord and flow with condition and situation. So I will write it down. Accord and flow with condition and situation. This is the key to understanding. You can do this means you have wisdom. Why do I say accord and flow with condition and situation? If you don't accord and flow, what happens? Yeah? You will develop? You will develop what? You want things your way, isn't it? So under the first Noble Truth, the eighth reality, number 7, when things don't go your way, what happens? Huh? When things don't go your way, you suffer, isn't it? That's why there is the first Noble Truth reality, dukkha. Not able to get what you want is dukkha. So if you don't accord and flow with condition and situation, means you want things your way, which is not nature's way. Which means you try to become funny or rigid. You try to impose what you want, or you become very, very rigid. You understand? Means you want means you want, you don't care. Whatever happens, you don't care. Then you may have reason to justify your action. That's why this will make you develop the wisdom to be at peace with all situations. If you can accord and flow with condition and situation, you will not have suffering. If you cannot, then you will stir your mind. You become unhappy. You develop suffering, misery, affliction. Through what? More thinking. You try to justify. How can you ask me to accord and flow? That fellow is funny. That fellow is unreasonable. That fellow do a lot of funny things. And sometimes we may even remind these people, I have already told you. And yet, you refuse to actually follow all those which we have agreed. But one must understand the world is a conditioned world, existential world, full of causes and conditions that can be beyond even the individual. That this is karmic, nature's condition. Whatever the condition or situation, you cannot be at peace with it, means you don't know how to accord and flow. You want things your way. So, if you don't have the Dhamma understanding, then you become rigid. And you every time have no peace. Small thing disturb you. Small thing flare you up already. When we go through life, it's not about right and wrong, always remember. If you want to be right, the ego is there. Right according to who? Your views, your opinion, your conditioning, your belief system. Then the other person that argue with you or complain is also having the same ego manifesting. Because both also don't see the reality. The reality is condition like that, things will be like that, cannot be otherwise. So we need to accord and flow with condition and situation and manifest with wisdom so that we can be at peace, so that things can continue. Means without negativity. This part is very important. This part you must contemplate and reflect. That's why in Mandarin, I think Song will know, you all always say what? Accord and flow is 随缘, isn't it? Flow with the condition, isn't it? Correct or not? 随缘, isn't it? We learn about the Mahayana Dhamma, but we don't know how to apply. 随缘 is very important. Accord with the condition. And if you know how to accord, means like water. Water. It just flow, understand? It only get blocked when there is resistance, you understand? Then the flow become not smooth, understand? Turbulent. That is how problem arises, understand? Because there is resistance to the flow, understand? So understanding all this is the real understanding of the Buddha's teaching, Dhamma. Then the first two parts, don't try to know, don't try to do, or don't try to even arise the thought. That one is to develop awareness. So once you develop awareness, you will have the wisdom. Then when you have the wisdom, you will know how to live life in accordance with what you understand. Means you will accord and flow. That's why I put here, accord and flow with all condition and situation. Then after that, what did I say? Accord and flow with condition and situation. Then have no desire and craving to progress. That one is to prevent cultivators who are like very, very keen to progress. I mean, if you want to develop the progress, you must have the understanding. It's not the desire. When there is strong desire to progress, it actually becomes a hindrance. Because the mind that craves to progress or even become enlightened is the thought, the egoic mind that is craving. So if you can develop the understanding following what I say, have no desire and craving to progress, then that mental hindrance, that craving thought or force will not be there. The ego will not be there. Like Ajahn Chah, I say, don't try to be an arahant. The moment the thought want to be an arahant, you cannot become an arahant. Arahant got no craving, understand? The wisdom liberate them. They can see the unreality of form and mind. They know that this form and mind is not them. That's why that so-called arahant is not them. That's why they will not say they are the arahant. But the form and mind that has the wisdom, awakening, yes, you can say that one is the arahant, but it's not you. So all this understanding will fall into place. Then what I say here is just cultivate sincerely with faith, means the spiritual faculty, and persevere. Then this is wisdom. Okay? Can follow? Yeah? Now we come to the fourth circle. Yeah? So to understand it deeper, we have to come to this fourth circle. As we all know, from the source, or our true nature, the original nature, the oneness nature, the first to manifest is the pure awareness. That's why all meditation start from here, pure awareness, nature. This is our true mind. I didn't write the true mind there. Oh God, this one is our true mind. Okay, pure awareness. This is our true mind. Okay, so from here we develop the pure awareness to develop the understanding. You can say, use this to meditate. Don't use the thought, understand? Thought based, you are dead. The awareness based, see things as they are. Awaken to phenomena. Develop the understanding. Allow the phenomena to unfold and tell you the story. Then you start to develop the understanding of how you function as a human being via this mundane mind. How this mundane mind react and stir when it doesn't accord and flow and create all the suffering and misery within the living being. How they get afflicted. Then how they grasp at the phenomenal world of consciousness. Whatever that this form and mind project through its senses upon contact, consciousness come to be. This phenomenal world of consciousness become like a magician, illusionary world of form and mind. Then when you see all this clearly, then you understand you need to stay here. The pure awareness nature, sati, to develop the wisdom, understanding, and the transformation. This pure awareness nature, the supreme vehicle way or the bodhisattva way, you can develop it until it becomes very, very amazingly powerful and unique. Very beautiful nature. But very few people can understand this and can even realize this and stay here. To realize your true mind, your pure awareness nature is not easy. But once you can be here, you develop the understanding very fast. Then from here, you see how all this move and project into that one. Then how this guy, through delusion wrong, you get entangled inside the phenomenal world of consciousness. This is where life is existent. That's why it's called the conditioned world, the existential world, the phenomenal world. And this is where everything happens. And you don't have the Dhamma understanding and the wisdom, you get entangled because you cannot accord and flow. You want things your way, which is resistance. You resist. No matter what you have planned or what you have already like make up your mind and all those things, because we are living in the world of condition. Whenever condition manifests, you have to accord and flow. Otherwise, you become rigid. That's why the next quote, maybe I read it so that I can share the understanding together. Quote 107, unique quote 107. Whatever that is rigid is not the true Dhamma. Now you understand. Rigid means what? You are fixed in the way you see things, you want things. So everything is according to you. Right also according to you. Whatever that happens also you want it to go your way. It must follow you. When you are rigid, you get into trouble. Because what you want may not be the reality that can manifest. That's how our society or our planet has a lot of war, a lot of conflict, the 3R and all those things. They come about through what? Lack of ability to accord and flow and accommodate all the understanding so that we can be at peace with all conditions and situations. If everybody wants to be right, if everybody wants to push things their way, how can there be peace? True or not? Wherever you are, any country, any society. That's why ideology become a problem. All sorts of ideology end up being egoic, because the person who created it is egoic, unless he has wisdom. Then he will not come up with ideology. He will just understand the nature's law that governs life and existence and develop the wisdom. Means understand the truth, Dhamma. That is not ideology. Dhamma is truth, the reality. Everything that manifests within nature is the truth. It cannot be otherwise. It follows nature's law. So hopefully, with all this understanding, the final one is still accord and flow with condition and situation. Very good. Add in the word 自在, 随缘自在, be at ease. So all these are very good Dhamma understanding. But if you can understand and apply it, that is real understanding. Understand now? Otherwise, it becomes a knowledge. A lot of time when people don't understand, you know what they tell you, to suit them. You say, "Brother say 随缘 what, accord and flow, what you kaypoh?" Then we get ourselves entangled again. Because when I say accord and flow means not to become rigid, means situation can change. When situation is like that, then you have to develop the understanding to accord and flow. Otherwise, you get into trouble. But it doesn't mean that That accord and flow is according to that person that say it. Understand? It's just like I used to tell you one, that one. I said, don't quote me on. I always say, don't quote me. Okay. So if you quote me means what? Huh? He said, Brother Teo said, awareness, no. Then you go and argue with you. Brother Teo said, meditation is not thought-based, no. No method, no technique, no. Then you get me into trouble, understand? No? Yeah. Because you only have the knowledge and repeat what I say. And you cannot defend yourself when you say that, understand? No? Then end up that guy who learned all the method and technique, and even the object of meditation. Then he quote from the sutta and say the Buddha also taught like that. And then how you argue? You end up trying to defend, understand? No? Forget about it. What is important is just share with them. I attended Theo's sharing and I understand what he is trying to share with me. He said thought-based meditation will lead to all the meditation technique, method and object of meditation coming in to actually create all the so-called thought-based approach to meditation, where there is a lot of labeling, a lot of thought involved. Your method and technique involve a series of instructions. Even object of meditation is the same. Well, most of them are the 40 method, 40 object of samatha meditation. But when we talk about anapanasati, they will quote, no. Anapanasati also matter. The Buddha prescribed. In fact, the Buddha actually advised the monk, sit under the tree and do. Yeah. But is anapanasati a method? No, it's just a mindfulness training, understand? Anapana means in and out breath. Sati is mindfulness. So mindfulness of the in and out breath, is it a method? No, it's training your mind to be aware. Finish. But you don't know how to explain, then you're being confronted and you quote me, that's how you get into trouble. Unless you understand and you are ready, then you can quote me, no problem. Yeah. Then when you quote me, that thing becomes useful, appropriate. Then it can help explain the situation. So always remember, don't argue, don't try to be right. Whatever people say, just listen. Then be attentive. If you cannot understand, let it be. If you can understand, if there's condition to help or to explain, and then you try something. If after you explain, it doesn't help, forget about it. Understand? Then let things be. Okay. After you accord and all these things, the next one is let things be. This one comes from the understanding that thing is just the way it is. Understand? Condition like that, things will be like that. So just let things be. When there is no condition to help, to improve the situation, to explain or to share, forget about it. Understand? You don't go and like some of those deluded ones, they are so conditioned, say, hey, sharing of Dhamma is the highest truth, and this one is the highest merit, I must share. Then you become very rigid. You keep on wanting to share, but people are not keen to listen. Then what is going on? Means you don't have the understanding. Yeah, it can be the highest merit because it's the truth, the gift of truth, the highest gift, which is not wrong. But because you think that is the highest, there is this craving to share, to teach, means you don't accord and flow with condition without understanding. then you get yourself into trouble for nothing. Okay? But when you are ready, by all means, go ahead and share and develop. But when you are ready, you will understand this. Then you will know when to share and when not to share. Then even people say you are wrong, no problem. Yeah, thank you, I'm wrong. Because according to you, I'm wrong. I'm not saying the contrary or admitting anything. It's just you say I'm wrong. I agree. Yes, I agree with what you think. Means your views, your opinion. Means according to you, I'm wrong. No problem. Understand? But right and wrong is not important in Dhamma. As far as Dhamma is concerned, there is this non-duality in Dhamma, which is you have to transcend the duality, right and wrong. Because all this understanding will manifest when you awaken. Right and wrong means what? These are dualities created by humanity. It's a convention, it's not a truth. Right according to them. So certain society with certain norm doing all those things is right. Understand? But other society with different norm doing those things is bad, wrong. So what is right? What is wrong? It's a duality that manifests according to society's conditioning and requirement. So a lot of things that has duality within is created by the thought. We are thought divide through what? Through words, through ideology, through all the concept, especially ideology. So word already very powerful. When they give it a word, religion, race, divide and create a lot of misunderstanding and problem, affliction to the world. And they also create gender. Then they also create nationality. So all these are the words that can manifest and divide society and the individual and cause them to disagree in many things. And because of that disagreement, misunderstanding arise, all the war, hatred, anger, what they call violence, they manifest. That's why you look at the world today. We have many wars, despite our advancement in civilization. You look at the Ukraine war with Russia, entering the third year. Then Gaza, Middle East, South Africa, African country, and many other South American countries. Why is it the world is full of conflict, war, misunderstanding, despite the United Nations, all the conference, Geneva conference, climate conference, whatever conference, they end up still having big problem. So all this, they manifest from the mundane mind that actually divide through words, concept, ideology, and all those that humanity cling onto, grabs onto. So understanding all this can actually give rise to the wisdom that in order to develop the harmony and to be at peace, we need to see things as they are, accord and flow with condition and situation. You cannot see things as they are means you cannot accept the world for what it is. Like I said, seeing things as they are means the world is the world. People are just the way they are. Condition like that, things will be like that. Angry people say angry things. Deluded people do deluded things. Selfish people do self. They are just the way they are. No right, no wrong. Do you understand? Yeah. You cannot say the generous people is good people, right way of behavior. Then the selfish people, what they call full of cunningness, aggressiveness, these are bad people. This is wrong. That is right. No, they are just the way they are. No right, no wrong. Because that is what they are. Conditioned like that, things will be like that. Being deluded, they do deluded things. Being selfish, they do selfish things. But if you cultivate and develop wholesomeness, the Dhamma understanding, then you will be the way you are. That's why virtuous people is the way they are. Wise people is just the way they are. Again, no right, no wrong. But society has its convention, always remember. If you are in this existential world, there will be right and wrong. But right and wrong is for the existential world. It's just like the 3 stages of seeing. 看山是山，看山不是山。Then the last one is what? 看山又是山。Why we need this 3 way of seeing? Because society is like that. Different people have different views, different opinions. At that level, mundane see, they say, see mountain as mountain, 看山是山。You should accord and flow. I say, yes, that is mountain. Then no more argument in that. Otherwise, you become like very smart, huh? Or you think you have some form of direct seeing everyone. No, 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 no. According to Zen, there is no such thing as mountain. 看山不是山. Direct see. You may quote me, no word, no concept, no duality. But it leads to what? Argument in there. That guy is just mundane. Don't have the spiritual understanding and training. And you want to explain things to him. It's just like the Mandarin saying what? 对牛弹琴, something like that. So all this is understanding. But when you meet a cultivator who can see beyond form, beyond mind, and develop the direct see, then there is nothing to see. Because the direct see is the pure awareness seeing without the word, without the mundane mind. That's why he said, 看山不是山. At your level of wisdom and knowledge, you can also agree that. That's why accord and flow. No argument, no conflict, no misunderstanding. Then the third one is when you have developed the complete full understanding to accord and flow, then finally you become normal, like a normal living being again. 看山又是山. It's no more during the cultivation stage. Understand? And that is such the seeing. Condition like that, you see like that. Condition like that, you see like that. Then you accord and flow. You develop understanding. Be at peace with all situations and things. Okay? Can follow? We shall continue in our second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by any question you may have, Q&A.
Brother Mr. Steele 各位到晚上好。
晚上好。
Brother 我要 share 一个 experience 是关于跟 thought 有关系有关系的。
好。
上次我在马拉克的时候，然后我跟我的 cousin 去一个咖啡店吃早饭。So during 那个 lunch 的时候，我们一面吃饭 ，then on and off 我们会有一些like chat。
对。
Then out of sudden 的时候，我就看到一个 thought arise。那个 thought 它是一种这个 game 它的那个。
给波
的那个那个 thought
要 manifest
对它就这样子 arise， 你看住你看得到它，对我看住它，然后我就静，then after few seconds 那个 thought subside 沉了下去，then 我们就 continue 吃饭，then few minutes later 它又在 arise， 对，but this time 它来到很好像 很 powerful，
more aggressive，
more aggressive， 他一直好像要出来，一直要去 transcend 你自己，一直要从你的嘴巴出去。好，
因为那个是你的 test 来的，给你看了after that 它 manifest because sometimes before you really have the stability or understanding 它会 actually beat你 to the they call to the limit to test you then what happened
哇，他就他是逼到好像要从你的嘴巴出来。
对。
然后那时我就我也是 continue silent， 我就这样子看住他。因为它是useless 的，你还可以看到它的 contents，
没有用的
你可以知道这个 thought 是没有用的，
对 frivolous extra，
对，所以我就看住他的 second time， 哇，那个时候你真的是要很 mindful 很静，
对，
然后过后不久了，他就整个就又灭掉然后 after that 我讲哇。然后after that 我就想哇，这个 talk 很 powerful
对
，so 我就没有去理他。then 那天拜二我就在classes 在 class 的时候就来到时候 out of sudden 有个 understanding 这样子，
哇，sudden，
然后我就 after that 我对你的 sharing 关于那些关于 thought 的那些 sharing，
对，
哇，他全部一个一个来，我
OK very good，
你讲the thought is not intrinsic in nature，and then 它是 dependent origination， 哇，那些
condition arising cause phenomenon，
对，它是一个一个这样子，我就完全可以
understand。Because that is the stability or wisdom you need. Then you contemplate until very stable the understanding. All this will manifest. All that I share, like thought divine and how it create the duality and create all the conflict, misunderstanding, all through memory, accumulated memory, conditioning, belief system. So it is for us to see all this. Then we realize ultimately the Buddha mentioned just 3 stanzas. Sabbe Sankara Anicca means what? All of thought activity, Sankara, is impermanent. They come and they go. They are dependent, originating, not intrinsic. Those are the things I add to make it clear for you all. Like anger is not you because it is dependent, originating. Fear is not you because it is dependent. So all this mind state will not affect you anymore. Then the other thing is Sabbe Sankara Dukkha. That one really free you. Think also like that, don't think also like that. Why you want to go and think? Why you want to create all this Sankara activity? Unless you want to manifest, to share, to teach, and to help. Otherwise, all these are wrong thought, frivolous thinking. That will manifest and does not actually bring about harmony, understanding, or wholesomeness. It actually bring about backbiting, all those negativity of mind state. So all this you will understand. Sabbe Sankara Anicca, Sabbe Sankara Dukkha, then Sabbe Dhamma Anateto. Anateto means anatta, means not only non-self, no reality at all, empty nature existence. 一切有为法嘛，如梦幻泡影嘛，如露亦如电，应作如是观。You have to contemplate inside that everything is within the conditioned world, conditioned Dhamma, 有为法。Then they are like dreamlike, 如梦，幻 is illusion, 泡 is bubble, shadow. No reality, understand now? All mind manifested that way. Then every phenomena you look at it, 如露亦如电, some last longer, some very fast, split second is gone, like the thought, like the emotion, whatever that go through the mind, they are very fast. But the one like the morning dew one, take longer time one, like a lot of phenomena within nature, even our human form and mind, that one take much longer. But most of them actually last for a while and gone. So all they last for a while is relative. Our human body span, even you say 75 years old, 80 or 90 years old, is very short relative to the what they call universal time. Universal time is talking about eons, and eons are world cycle. Our this one existence, segmented life is very short. That's why it's Zulu, like a morning dew. It lasts for a while, then it's gone. Then 一如电 means like a lightning flash, very fast and gone. Your existence is within the moment. Moment to moment, life passes by. What are you doing? And the moment is so transient, or split second is the experience. So how real can life be? That's why sabbe sankara anicca, sabbe sankara dukkha, and sabbe dhamma anatta, very powerful. The moment you recite this, means you have developed the wisdom. Then straight away, no need to, that fellow want to force you to triangle or what, it cannot already. The moment this yoniso manasikara come out, sabbe sankara dukkha, finish. Or sabbe sankara anicca, then sabbe dhamma anateto or anatta. No reality, empty nature. Not worthwhile thinking, not worthwhile dwelling into it, but it will lead to suffering, affliction. So all this understanding is to stabilize that part. Then later on, maybe within the next 1 month or so, you will see all this cannot come out already. Even initially it come out very fast, it subside, very fast it subside. That is the second right effort. Right effort to prevent it from right. That one need wisdom one. Need stability of understanding one. So what you go through one is very good. Ability to see this thought that wants to transgress and manifest, then you know it's not relevant. Then straight away you just be with it, it will subside. But later on your wisdom stabilize, like what you've gone through the Tuesday class, if you allow you to see that, means the stability of that wisdom is already moving inside your nature. So once you contemplate deep into this for maybe another month or so, then you become very different. That's why at that time I remember I became so powerful in my contemplation and wisdom. When I say Sabbe Sankara Anicca, I can really see Anicca in everything. Whatever within existence, everything is like that one. Because there are causes and conditions behind the arising. Because being an engineer, I know how they come to be, the highway, everything. Even the plant, you need the condition for the seed to germinate. Is the soil, the whatever heat from the sun, then also the seed that has the potential to be germinated. Then when all these are in order, then it start to grow. Then it bud and become a seedling. Then slowly it become a plant. From a plant it become a tree. Then it go through the nature's process of decay. Understand? That's why all the four-phase cycle, birth means the arising cycle. Then the growth cycle, sustenance. Then the decaying, then the passing away. So all this, when you contemplate, when you reflect, then when you are mindful, you can see them. The moment of its arising, sustenance means the growth and the decay and the passing away. You must see it there and then. Then you awaken to all phenomena, not just that particular phenomenon. That's why after that I see everything. Truth is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. That's why my nature start to realize, why can't living beings see? For those who see, they always see. So all this understanding, they become very, very different, very powerful, or we call it potent. And then from there, you transform again. You develop further understanding again. Very good, so Sadhu, continue.
然后这几天我就一直brother 你上个礼拜天的那个Hasutra 的那个 sharing，哇，我这几天每一天都在听，然后我就哇，听了我觉得很讲那个你的那个 sharing 很多的 Dharma 在里面，很多的 understanding，
a lot of understanding, a lot of Dhamma inside there.
对，哦，我每一天都在听，我觉得，诶，你的那个 sharing 就是那个 sharing 里面都是教我们讲去 deal with 那个 thought，怎样去 cultivate，
对，
哇，然后我就每一天我都在哇，我觉得哇 full of joy 哦，我觉得很多的 contents。连今天早上我在驾车的时候，我又在听，halfway 的时候我里面就讲你只要 stabilize 它，过后你 stabilize 这一个 understanding，然后你看到这个sankara anicca sankara dukkha，
that Dhamma anatta，
就是你就能够看到
那一个，because the impermanent is not a permanent unchanging entity. Our world is a conditioned world. Everything is dependent on originating condition arising. 因缘法嘛，缘起缘灭嘛，there got something there on. Understand 啊？Our human form all also 缘起缘灭嘛，all phenomena in the world also 缘起缘灭嘛。Where got you, me, father, mother？没有这回事的。All this the existential world convention where people have the conditioning belief system, then they hold on to it, then they live their life. But 我们有了 Dhamma, with the Dhamma understanding, we transcend all this. That's why the conditioned Dhamma is a conditioned Dhamma. Within the condition, we do our duty. Where there is a law of karma, we need to accord and flow. Otherwise, we entangle. Understand? Karmically, we entangle. No, you wanting our way, we can cause repercussion. Cause a lot of funny thing. Like you wanting your way, you insist. You can afflict people. You can even the other side also know Dharma. They argue back with you. This is become karmic debt. Like 报应. Then the louder you speak, you trigger off the anger over there, then they tell you off lah. Then end up what? War or conflict lah. So initially is bosong, the misunderstanding, then the argument, then after that the anger, everything gone. These are the evil root, no, and you cannot actually see it and understand it. Then where is the cultivation? That's why the cultivation is with the mindfulness and the awareness to see this. And to see this, you must understand what constitutes evil, how they manifest, how they arise. Actually, through our habitual tendency. When we hold on to things, we have our ideal, our like rigid way of doing things. We familiar like that, we want to do things like that. Then anything that go against this is like against our bottom line. Then it will trigger off one. This is what asava is all about. Latent tendency and asava, anusaya and asava. Asava means inside there very strong already. Then got condition only, we come out already. And that one is coming from the past. Very difficult to root out. That one you need mindfulness, awareness, understanding to root it out. Otherwise not easy. 哇，很好，今天的很好，沙六，continue。
然后过后，我这几天就一直听了 Dhamma talk，有时我在 contemplate 然后我就想，哇 ，without understanding，without the wisdom 哇，我们一定给那个 thought
对，给他骗去，
对，给他骗去。
Because from here, the mundane mind, it create a lot of misunderstanding and wrong thought. All this actually delude you. But through delusion, you get entangled, you grasp, you cling, you give meaning. Understand? And you think this is beautiful. This is where everything happens, can become successful, world number one. So you strive very hard for what? To achieve, not realizing that finally you yourself don't exist. How can you achieve anything? Everything is not what you think. 一切有为法如梦幻泡影 no reality. It's just a phenomenal world of consciousness. Consciousness come and go. How stable can it be? How real can it be? How can it be a being inside there? Understand? That's why 缘起缘灭 means condition arising, also phenomenon. When there is condition, it manifests and arises like you exist. Then when condition ceases to be, it ceases to be. Then there can only be memory, recalling it. 往事只能回味 any reality. There is no reality. So see the empty nature, anatta nature. Means no reality, not a permanent and changing entity, not a being. And everything, because it is not a permanent and changing entity, is empty. It come and go, understand? Like the present moment. So 一切有为法如梦幻泡影，如露亦如电，应作如是观。You must contemplate it such to awaken. And then only you can deal with the defilement of the mundane mind conditioned by Sakaya Ditti. Yeah, this egoic mind, through thought, create a lot of problem, havoc in the world. Not only living beings' life, especially humanity's life, human beings' life. And through here, war, conflict, everything, even the pandemic, everything is related to human consciousness. That's how it evolved and become what it is. So all these are very beautiful understanding. That's why with your condition, all this can be explained and it will manifest and let you have the more stable and higher wisdom. This type of discussion and wisdom, other Dhamma session you cannot have. Because unless you evolve until you understand this, I cannot teach all this. If last time I teach all this, you all cannot understand. But now, after you have gone through the preliminary, they call it the provisional teaching, stabilizing the understanding, then moving into the awareness-based meditation, developing the wisdom from there. And then I can explain all this. Then very easy for you all to understand and grasp. Very good. Sadhu, continue. Yeah.
哇，然后我过后讲，哇，这个 thought 真的是很 powerful。
是吗？
它一 arise 的时候，你的 mundane mind 一 arise 的时候，它就创造了
对，
创造了这一切。
因为这个是你的 accumulated habitual tendency. Before that 你已经去you call it reflect on it, plan, scheme, and even plan how to reply and how to hit out and take revenge. Everything already schemed inside there. That's why it accumulated there. Then got condition like the asavang, it just shoot out on a like machine gun like that. Without mindfulness, without Dhamma, you cannot control one. That's why all this will come out. Then those who cultivate thought-based one, they got Dhamma knowledge, they cannot handle all this one. And this character is from past, karmic, and very difficult to root out unless you develop the awareness base to see it, develop the wisdom, do a lot of contemplation until this wisdom stabilizes. Otherwise, very difficult to root out. And a lot of human beings trapped in that asava and anusaya. Eckhart Tolle call it the pain body. Trigger of pain. And it will shoot out one. That's why they call it latent tendency and very powerful defilement. Asava. Means not only latent, no, it's like trapped inside there. Ever shooting out. Because of what the brain's conditioning, belief system, and constant thinking, planning, scheming, and all the cunningness and all those things, then all the revenge or whatever, like you say, it planned all the story inside there. And this one is waiting to come out only. Because before you had the Dhamma, before you had the understanding and the awareness and the wisdom, all this will get accumulated inside. And this one no need to recall. Straight away got condition only, it come out only. Well, it's called latent tendency and asava. Latent tendency is Anusaya. Then Asava. The first level, not later on, Kilesa. You remember Kilesa? Kilesa is normal defilement, is the evil. But after you stabilize that Kilesa, it becomes Anusaya. Then you become so rigid and so strong in your mind, it becomes Asava. So from defilement, it move over to Anusaya, which is latent tendency. Then it move over to Asava. When it become Asava, very difficult to root out. Because that one just like machine gun, just shoot out on you and burst out like that, and make you very bosong inside there, the emotion. So now you can see how living beings are caught in all this. So the stages of movement from normal defilement, which hasn't become latent through your wrong thought, through your planning, scheming, and all things, you actually consolidate and develop it until it becomes latent. Then from latent, it becomes like asava, ready to shoot out. So the three Pali words that the Buddha teach is very beautiful. That's why a lot of books cannot explain. They thought it's the same. They thought Kilesa is defilement. Then Anusaya, of course, they use the English word latent tendency. They also know it's latent. Then the last one, Asava, nobody explained. Nobody explained. But I know what that thing is, because during the early days when I developed the cultivation, my nature from the past understand. That's why I know what this thing is. Good, continue. Yeah.
所以要 deal with 这个 thought 这个 understanding， brother， 你的这个 sharing， 其实你 bring out 很多很 direct 的那种 understanding 跟 Dharma。
Very penetrating Dharma。
penetrate 的。如果我们一直去重复的去听，去 stabilize 这个 understanding， 它能够帮助我们去去 awaken， 去 understand 这个五蕴啊。
对对。
它的这个 creation。
对。
其实我现在看回去我觉得是很容易。But 当我在 cultivate 的时候 ，without the
understanding 不容易的
真的是不容易
不能够解脱，因为 the grasping aggregate 你看不到它的 nature 它的 nature is grasping one 真的你会去抓住它的To you is like that form is real You really deludedly hold on to it. You worry about it getting old, getting sick and die. Then you want to protect it. Even injury cannot, sickness cannot, all things. So you want things away. Then feeling become like so real to you. You grasp at the feeling and you become so emotional over things. Then you create your rigid view and all those things. Then your planning, your scheming, all this from memory, habitual tendency. Then 你的 phobia, all your accumulated condition you plus your past karma 它来的时候因为 these are the habitual tendency that you have been holding on to in previous past life for very long because of the karmic entanglement, the enmity and all this. So 它有了那个 karmic entanglement from the past when they come it developed into from Kilesa to Anusaya and Asava, a very fast one. Then this one like your habitual tendency you find it very difficult to root it out now. Like you understand before you know the Dhamma knowledge that time, the five aggregate, the grasping aggregate, 你看不到嘛 then 你要解脱 not easy you want to free from it, not easy. But once you go through all the penetrative contemplation that I teach you, then you slowly develop the wisdom. Then you realize no meaning this aggregate, like I say, feeling come and go, you never die. So how can feeling be you? Understand? The form go the way of nature. After that separation, they call dead. Who died? No, all these are contemplative wisdom. Then perception come and go, you didn't die. How can it be you? Understand? That's why you see the unreality non-intrinsic nature. Then finally, if they are not you, why they arise? That is the Kongan. That is the wisdom. Why did they arise in you? Then you realize they are not intrinsic in you, means they are dependent originating. That's why it arises. There are causes and conditions for it to arise. Otherwise it won't arise because the sense basis, the consciousness trapped inside, then the life force. Then upon contact through the senses, then the brain come in, create all this movement. That's why to see all this, you need to actually go the supreme vehicle way to develop stability of pure awareness nature. This one is beyond sati, This one is to go in through the gateway until this one shine forth, illuminate that nature, Then from there, the seeing is so penetrative, That's why I can understand this like inside out. That's why I can share. And last night, Tuesday night, they went with me to supper. We went to SK Majid. They were doing the transcript for the recent one, Unique Code 105. You know what Han, Chin Hao, and Chipolen say? After they read the transcript, they said, oh, especially Han, but you can just talk like that, he said, we all transcript also take time to listen, he said, and to develop that. Then once you listen and write it out, then the whole sentence become clear, then only you realize, how can he understand like that? It's like no need to remember one, just like that, come out. This is from the nature, understand? Straight from the heart, the nature. 从这边它 manifest through wisdom understanding. Then the wisdom connected to this form and mind. That's why this direct seeing, this triangle, pure awareness through the direct seeing, develop the wisdom. This wisdom connected to this. And this wisdom is in our nature. Yeah. That's why this one is in the spiritual nature. Understand? But you cannot inherit until you connect, until you develop the cultivation. 这个 understanding you cannot find on. I haven't seen anybody explain this or write about this. Yeah. So all these are very important. So now what you have understood is very good. But this is how a person develop understanding and transform. Means 你的 faith and what happened the past few months bring about all this condition for you to understand all this. Then later you will become very good. Very good. Yeah. Then 你的 understanding become very stable. Then when you share, you will have the ability to share in a very different manner. The only thing you need to do is this pure awareness nature, you have to develop it more. That gateway, silent, the trust, do more until this one develop until it can cause your mundane mind to collapse first. Now, once the mundane mind collapse, mean you, Pocheng Leo, and even Alicia Leo, even I think some others who has done it, you need to stabilize here. This one take very long. My nature also need 9 months after I locate the gateway. Most of you will take longer. I don't know how long, but it will happen. The process. Then when the mundane mind collapse, you're seeing, your understanding different again, completely different again. Okay?
这个当我 experience 这个 thought 的这个 experience 以后，哇，我发现到哇，这个 thought 真的是很恐怖它很像一个毒蛇这样子
对，
哇，每天去condition 我们 especially 如果那些 healers 你就变成你 transgress在你的那个thought。
对
and then 每一个如果没有 Dharma 的人，他又有那个 three evil root， 哇，他就 condition 这一个人，那个只是一个假象的那个 thought。
对 ，it make you evil， understand？
对。
Then it make you heedless. Heedless means what? Without mindfulness. Without mindfulness, you're not aware. You don't know what is happening. That's how they get themselves entangled in the phenomenal world of consciousness. At the mundane mind level, how they arrive, how they grow, how they cling also they cannot see. They always trapped inside here. So without awareness, you become heedless and you do a lot of funny things because you believe this is good for you. That's why you want to be aggressive, you want to be successful, and you want to control people like all the world leaders. All this, you have to pay back your karmic one. Whatever havoc you create to consciousness and the world, you have to pay back. You cannot run on. This is the law of karma. Oh, very good. So 从这边呢，你慢慢你就会了解 the whole big picture. Then when you cultivate, you become very different again. Because cultivation is understanding first. Then you continue to progress. You remember last time I shared with you, Mr. C 来的时候，他做 energy field 啊，他 go through pure awareness 嘛。He also use pure awareness, but not to develop wisdom because he got wrong view. He think that one is him. But he cannot penetrate fast. So he went into actually what we call the pure psychic is called occult. The occult. It manifests. But without wisdom, his wisdom cannot catch up. Understand? When his wisdom cannot catch up, he cannot see the occult danger and all those things. Although he know cannot touch psychic all those things. But he actually get entangled with the pure energy. So these two must move hand in hand. You remember last time I explained to you? I was very lucky. Also because of my vow, I have to meet up with him. He has to come to me. And because when he came to me, it was 1989, I already had the Dhamma. I already have the realization of what that nature is. I only need somebody to tell me where the gateway is. That's why the moment he actually introduced to me where the gateway is, immediately this trapped energy at the heart flow over, then melt inside and become pure energy. That's why I transform very fast because of my wisdom understanding. Otherwise, that nature's cultivation, they cannot do one. Without the Dhamma understanding, there is delusion, wrong view, there is attachment, entanglement, and they don't know how to develop the wisdom. He also know how to relax, but he cannot go in and develop the wisdom because he lacked the Dhamma understanding, especially anatta nature. He believed that one is the true self, Atman, the super Atman and all that. So because of that, the wisdom gets stagnate for his case. The wisdom I developed first, then I met him right time. Then I located the gateway that I can transform so far. From my past, I inherit. Within 9 months, that thing collapsed. Then I built up the awareness nature cultivation. Until today, 30 over years later, it is still moving inside, developing. That's why this one, long journey, but very beautiful. When you reach here, the whole thing becomes very different. So wisdom, I realize, and the consciousness must move together. Without the wisdom, the mundane mind cannot collapse. That's why he still has the mundane mind. So with the wisdom, the energy becomes very fine, pure, then the mundane mind collapses. Then only it can illuminate that nature. Then that nature inside there transform again the movement, which I explained in the book that we are going to print, The Path to Nibbana. That one inside there, everything. Then the 105 one coming on, which they are still doing, that one will actually cover a lot of the explanation. Then now with your this one is going to make it even more beautiful, especially how you come to understand all this and able to actually recall what I say and benefit you. You will come to realize that all the Dhamma are so penetrative and effective, you cannot find from others. Well, these are all the important understanding that I developed through my own nature. Then when I share all this, you all cut short your journey. You don't have to go and look for it. otherwise it will take you maybe aeons, right, to find all this. So also you have to thank Maitreya because of the message. Then this become possible. Very good. Continue 送好吧。完了10:30了哦，这么快，alarm 了。哎shit summarize
Burden 你每天一直在 repeating 的这些 Dharma maybe 很多的Galamita 有时听起来你觉得哎呀
又在 repeat but it's not repeat
这一些都是很 direct 的 understanding 很 direct 的那个 point 去 stabilize 我们的那个 understanding 跟 wisdom 它真的是 cut short 了很多我们的 cultivation 如果等于说我们每一个人一定要有 faith
faith 很重要，
一直去 repeating 的去听，
对
我现在发现到这些burden 你的 sharing 的这些 pointer 哇它很 rich 的那个 dharma
对 very penetrative very useful
刚才我只是单单听你讲 echo and flow 的时候哇我就可以 connect 很多的
对 all the thing that I shared before
all the 全部可以 connect 在这个
that's why 它整个 teaching is interconnected it's not a separate teaching everything point back to the same thing It can be from the Mahayana Sutta, the Theravada Sutta, whatever Sutta, everything is related interconnected 你如果不能够 link them means 你还没有 fully understood the teaching. When you understand the teaching, you realize everything is related connected 好，
所以新的一年希望每个
That's why 我说今年很不一样，今年 a lot of things will happen
所以希望每个 Galamita 能够put more effort diligence 的去 cultivate 真的因为我们真的是很 blessed 所有的 conditions 都已经有了
对
is there the teaching the teacher Galamita 整个的 consciousness 全部都已经有了 prepare 了只是看我们要不要put 很 diligent 的去 cultivate 但是当你在 cultivate 的时候 you don't try to know you don't try to do
那个 not easy to clear that contradiction in fact 那些听新人听的也是 ask a lot of this type of question because they cannot understand 有些silent your mind no thought then 又叫你 contemplate 又叫你 reflect inquire they find it very confusing but they have faith like that guy who asked the question so all this for people who are serious they will actually finally approach it and realize it because like I said this window is very important this golden window is a very short window if you miss this you have to wait for a long wait, maybe aeons and aeons before another window like that can arise. Like you mentioned, everything already there. Even 人生难得尽已得，佛法难闻尽已闻 teacher everything. And our website, our sharing everything. So all these are so conducive, you cannot develop the faith and strive on with heedfulness and really adhitana to have this understanding. It's up to the individual, nothing to do with my nature. My nature is to share and to create the condition for living being to develop the understanding. So whether to strive on or not, to develop the faith and persevere and sincerity depend on the individual. Some got karmic obstruction, you need to ask for forgiveness. You have to ask for to break that. Then vow from now onward, you will go all out to cultivate this. Then that thing become very different inside there. When you see the beauty, the importance, and the uniqueness of this window, you will go all out. Like in 1971, after I read the Four Noble Truths, no more turning back. No need to search also, I know inside there. That's why I went all out after that. 很好 sadhu. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Then we shall share merit, otherwise too late. Akasatta ca bhumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva cirang rakantu loka sasana ittavata camehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang menyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang menyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang menyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo devo asattu kalena sasa sampati hetu ca Pito bhavatu loko ca Raja bhavatu dhammiko Imena punyang kamena Mame bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu Yawa nivana bhatiya Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you all can pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Panyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu.